Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I'm doing worst books of 2020. I will not apologize. I will not disclaim. Let's go. First one, Life of Pi by Jan Martel. This thing fucking sucked. Oh, by the way, there will be a lot of swearing. Apparently it's philosophical, but one, nobody tells you that shit before you read it. Nobody mentions it's philosophical. They just go, oh, Life of Pi, that was a great movie. You go, yeah, okay, I'll read the book. Apparently it's philosophical. What the hell? So first of all, didn't go into it knowing it was a philosophy book. Second of all, looking back, knowing it's a philosophy book, again I say, what the hell? I actually got rid of my copy because I will never touch that book again. It was horrible. The writing wasn't even that good. I've read another of Jan Martel's books, and that was better. 2. Heart of Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. This was idiotic, is the kindest word I can probably come up with. See, the thing is, right, 1, there are more than 5 love languages. 2, it is very heavily Christian-based, and I will leave you my hitting you over the head with an anvil Christian video because that'll help explain some of this. And 3, it just, if you're gonna talk about shit like that, write an actual full-length novel about it. And I think, to be fair, I think he has. I just could only find the little one. But it also felt repetitive and redundant and intuitive. Come on! 3 was The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. 1970s Alaska, abusive as fuck husband. Spoiler alert, they kill him and then run. Fair enough, so would I. I wish I had known it was going to be that dark, because I was not in the mental space to actually handle that right then. So, probably fucked myself over on that one. And, was I using letters this time? B? It was boring! It was so boring, people. Oh my god. Yuck. 4, The Help by Catherine Stockman. White saviory shouldn't have been written. What the fuck was the point? We don't need those. And speaking of white saviory, Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. I fucking hate this book too. Look, I only skimmed the last 200 pages because I couldn't stand it. Now, I know people are gonna come for me, but it was written in 1851 or published or whatever before the Civil War. She's abolitionist. This is great. Now, let me explain something. Yes, for its time period, this was a groundbreaking book, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that she even got this published because that's amazing. I appreciate the fact that this brought attention to the plight of Black people in the States at the time. I mean, really anywhere, because it's not like the rest of the world was blameless either, but that's not the point. I appreciate that it brought that attention to the issue in the States. What I don't appreciate is the severe white saviorness of the entirety of this book. It is almost 500 pages, and it also, don't be wrong, there are parts of it that are like, oh yeah, abolition is great. But it felt to me like it was basically, well, we should definitely, help them get out, but not all slave owners are bad. It was apologetic. And what the hell does that do? Nothing is the answer. Absolutely fucking nothing. So if you want to read this, have at it. But don't come for me when I warn you that it's shit. Then we have Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope. Now, my feelings on this one are not nearly as strong as those last two. I buddy read this one with Margaret, whose channel I will link down below, namely the live show we did about it. I really enjoy, in these kind of classics, all of the contemporary literature that they reference. They reference Plato, they reference Moore, they reference all of these various things that we now consider classics, and they've just read because that's a good education at the time. I love those references because, to me, they give me a lot more books to go and find and read so that I understand this better. The internet tells me this is not a religious book, but it felt like a religious politic book, and I didn't love it. It was very boring. I think it could have easily been a novella instead of a full-length novel. And I just didn't care about any of the characters. Also, the descriptions in this were Lord of the Rings-esque, except without the eloquence. And I also didn't love that. So this one was a rough read for me. I finished it, but it was rough. Now, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, I will link you to a certain vlog. And you knew that this video was coming. And if you didn't, well, where have you been? A Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon. Holy fucking hell, this book is... How long is this book anyway? This book is precisely 1,438 pages. Too long. By the way, it is 1,438 pages long. This is a complete filler book. I cannot stand the fact that Claire can just fix fucking anything anymore. I get it, she's from several centuries ahead, but honestly, you can't fix everything. How the hell do you take out tonsils in 17, whatever year we're in at this point? 76, 80, something like that. Like, what is the point? I also really need the plot hole of Bree and Roger going back to 1980s Scotland filled, because they just suddenly show up and she's got a job and everything's fine and nobody's questioning where they were for several years. You know, I have problems. So there were a lot of plot holes. This book didn't need to be written, and I am so mad because these books are fucking long. And if you're gonna put me through the pain and misery of sitting through 1,438 motherfucking pages, you can at least make them decent. I will say this for Diana Gabaldon, she researches her books unbelievably well, and I appreciate that. But you don't need to put every bloody damn research point into a fucking novel. I'm done now. As you can tell, I was not a huge fan of any of those books. But anyway. At this point, I will now point you to my best books of 2020, because after that I feel like you probably need a palate cleanser. Anyway, if you have thoughts on any of those books, let me know down in the comments below, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!